is Dory Smith. This is my speech 3 for public communications 1315, a requirement for my bachelor's degree. I am currently a senior at Lamar University. So today I would like to talk to you. I am going to persuade you that the HPV vaccine is not necessary for your children, for our children. To do this, let's start at the beginning and let me explain what the HPV vaccine is for. The HPV is known as human papillomavirus. This is a virus that presents itself in the form of genital warts. This can come on the female genitalia or the anus of women or men. So the point of the HPV vaccine is to avoid getting the human papillomavirus, to avoid the potential of possible cervical cancers and some anal cancers that can be produced. So let me start once again with the HPV to explain what it does. There are 30 to 40 types of human papillomavirus that are out there. There are 2 specific ones that will lead to cervical cancer or anal cancer. That's number 16 or number 18. So the idea is to avoid getting these viruses to begin with. Sometimes it can go away on its own. Approximately 4 out of 5 people will become, women will become infected with this illness through sexual contact. You only contact HPV through genitalia contact. There are ways to avoid it that do not require the shot. Those ways would include abstinence, of course, 100% non-sexual contact, or wearing a condom has shown very high probability of not spreading the disease as well. You can pass genital warts whether you have an outbreak currently or not. So that is something to be conscious of if you are ever infected with the HPV virus. So the way to detect the HPV virus in women starts with the Pap smear. The Pap smear doesn't diagnose it. It does, however, show cells that are ill, and so they can further test those cells to find out if they are infected with HPV. So once that is done, then they would start treatment that will help. Not everybody gets cervical cancer. In fact, there are only about 12,000 women per year who get cervical cancer from HPV. The cervical cancer happens in the cervix, which is located inside the vagina. There is no genetic predisposition for this virus or this illness or this cancer. The majority of women who get it do tend to be Hispanic. There is no known reason for that, but they are still researching it to find out more. Most people have a successful treatment that do not require a vaccine prior to, and most women should have a Pap smear by the age of 21. So all of these precautions put in place ahead of time can avoid having to have the HPV vaccine. So if you want to know more about HPV, we have several different visuals that can help you, that will show you the percentages that are out there, what the chances are of your child or my child of ever contracting this illness. There's also more information regarding the immunizations that are available for this. And this is something that you should be aware of, because not only is the HPV what you should know what the immunization itself has in it. So now that we've discussed what HPV is, let's discuss the vaccine itself. So the HPV vaccine is given, it started out as just 1 vaccine for kids, and now they have upped it to 3 vaccines. So this shows you the instability of the medication to begin with. It's requiring more and more and more to be productive. So the side effects that it can cause include shortness of breath, swelling, local irritations of the shot injection itself, which is not unusual for immunizations of any kind. But when you start adding in the shortness of breath, potential of seizures, potential of muscle spasms, future joint issues, these are all things that can cause severe concern and make that shot not worth the time. So when we are with the shot itself, so now that we've discussed the HPV and what the virus is, we've discussed the shot and what it can do, the potential of bad side effects, the potential of good side effects. So let's close with discussing why you should not get the shot. The shot itself is not what saves you from the cancer. The shot itself is what is supposed to help with the human papillomavirus to begin with. This cancer is still possible to get even without this injection. So the injection is simply an extra cost, extra time, extra health issue potential that is not always necessary for you or your children. So I would like to thank you very much for listening to me today as I try to persuade you that the HPV vaccine is not necessary for our children. Once again, my name is Dory Smith. I am a senior at Lamar University, and this was my third speech, a persuasion speech for public communications, 1350.